Our center fielder for Orofino is Coleman. That'll be a ground ball, hits the first baseman, and Maddie Thomas got a stolen base, and then the ground out by Baird.
At bat number 5, Stewart.
Advances Turner or Thomas over to third. So a runner in scoring position for the Lumberjacks. And it brings up Addie Stewart to the plate for St. Mary's. Addie reaches at that first pitch. It's a kind of a ground ball. It's going to be bobbled by Tondevold, the shortstop. And I'm going to call that an error on the Maniacs. Run comes across from third, so Lumberjacks score first.
At bat number 12.
They've got one out with a runner on first for the Lumberjacks. I'll give you the defense for the Maniacs here in a minute. Reese Deo's the pitcher. First pitch is in the ground for ball 1. Turner Stewart gets over to second base on a passed ball. So the pitcher is Reese Deo, Jr., earned run average of 3.92 on the season. Inside the Turner on the next pitch, ball 2. 2 balls, no strikes. The boys lost their game 1 over at the baseball fields 26-2. Next pitch. Big swing and a miss. Strike 1. 2 balls and a strike. This inning brought to you by the Country Fair in St. Mary. Stop by, check it out. They've got new summer clothing, summer fashion arriving daily. They also got your softball and baseball gear. And they're ready for your Easter needs as well. Foul ball strike 2. And they can also get your tux for the prom. So tuxedo rentals at the Country Fair in St. Mary's on Main Street. Next pitch on the way. Ground ball up the middle. Base hit and an RBI. Coming around is Stewart. A nice single on the ground ball. And Turner gets over on the throw to second base. Lumberjacks, kind of a replay of the first game. St. Mary's has 2 runs across in the top of the first. 1 out. Brings up Brenna Elliott with a runner at second for the Lumberjacks. On deck for St. Mary's is Watkins. In the hole is Sloper. Going to get a swing and a miss by Elliott on the first pitch for strike 1. Also, Potlatch Deltic, a big sponsor of Lumberjack sports broadcasts on 1240 KOFE. Want to thank them and all the support in the community they do. Potlatch Deltic Corporation. Next pitch is a ball. 1 ball, 1 strike to Elliott. One pitch. Kind of a blooper fly ball. Sarah Tondevold, the shortstop, catches it for the fly out.
Number 14, Watkins. On deck number 15, Watkins.
Brings up Alyssa Watkins with 2 outs. On deck, Sloper in the hole is Brebner. Watkins, the lefty. Lumberjacks lost that first game 16-4. Hoping for some different results in this one. Big fastball and a big swing by Watkins. Strike 1 on the missed swing. Right over the top of that one. Deo takes a look at her wristband. Left-handed pitcher. That pitch misses for ball 1. 1-1 count to Watkins. Next pitch on the way. Gonna have a little blooper off the end of the bat. Third baseman Johnson scoops it on the ground out to throw to first in time. And that'll retire the side. St. Mary's with 2 runs, 2 hits, 1 error, left on base 1. And the Lumberjacks have the 2-0 lead going into the bottom of the first. And it'll be Bryn Hanna, Sadie Olive, Riley Diffin to the plate for the Maniacs when we return.
With a P1 FCU Ascend checking account, you get more than great dividends. Imagine having an entire branch in your pocket. Who needs a checkbook when you have a digital wallet? The only thing I check these days are my dividends.
Access your account anytime, anywhere. Simplify your life and start earning more with Ascend Checking. Get yours today at p1fcu.org/ascend. P1FCU, your community, your credit union. Insured by NCUA.
Kenny and the crew at 10th Street Superstop invite you into the biggest convenience store in town. 10th Street Superstop is your one-stop shop for gas, propane, snacks, and ice-cold drinks. Stop in for breakfast or lunch, breakfast burritos and pizza to paninis and fajita burritos. 10th Street Superstop has something for everyone. Whether you're headed to a Lumberjack game or out into the woods, 10th Street Superstop is the place to stop for anything you may need. 10th Street Superstop on North 10th Street in St. Mary's. Well. Are you... Sorry, didn't mean to need to cut that out because didn't need that next commercial. Taking a look at our defense for this game for the Lumberjacks. Addie Stewart will be pitching. Taryn Brebner will be behind home plate. First base is Asbury. Second base is Alyssa Watkins. Third base is Danica Sloper, Berna Elliott in short, Kendra Nicholson in left field, Maddie Thomas in center, Avery Baird in right. Stewart has a 2.21 earned run average on the season. She'll face off with Bryn Hanna. And Bryn Hanna swings at that first pitch, fouls it down the third baseline for strike one, or the first baseline for strike one. Lumberjacks have to refocus quickly after that first game. They only gave them 15 minutes between the games. Part of the due is probably because of the possibility of weather and to stay on track with time as well. This game started at noon. That next pitch is down low, ball one, 1 strike. Sometimes they'll give you like 30 minutes between games so that you can go get something to eat and drink and go to the bathroom. This time they made them move along pretty quickly. Outside on that next pitch, ball two. That pitch looked like it probably had a good level to it, just outside. 2-1 count now to Hannah. First batter, bottom of the second, or first for the Maniacs, inside corner, strike one, or strike two. 2 balls, 2 strikes now to Hannah. Hannah shook her head afterwards, saying, yep, that was definitely a strike. 2-2 pitch. Leaves that one high, runs the count full, 3-2 from Stewart. Again, we do have our sideline HD working good today, but that one's going to be fouled off. Still full count now, or it was a full count. Next step now is to, I guess, keep the way we're doing it right now with the tablet and see if we can figure out a way to get our audio into the sideline HD stream so that we have the play-by-play and commercials in there. Next pitch is going to be down low, ball 4, walks the first batter.
At bat, number 5, Sadie Olive. On deck, number 11.
Brings up Sadie Olive. On deck is Diffin. No outs, runner at first for Orofino. Outside on that first pitch, ball 1. And again, if you are watching on the Sideline HD stream as well, maybe you've got the YouTube audio pulled up so you got the play-by-play part of it. I apologize for the shaking of the camera. Holy moly, they're going to get a strike on that pitch. And then Hannah stole the base. They tried to get the throw out to second base, and Taryn Brebner kind of sailed that one. It was only a 1-base gain on the stolen base, so no harm, no foul. But 1-1 count to Olive now. Runner at second base for the Maniacs. One pitch on the way. Leaves that low. 2-1 count now to Olive. Two-one pitch. Ooh, a little bit low and I think a little inside. 3-1 to Olive. Three-one pitch on the way. Ball 4, high and outside. Runners at first and second. Brings up Riley Diffin. So you got Riley and you got Livia Johnson. I mentioned that Livia had, I think, a couple of home runs on the season. You got Riley. Usually you almost always put your biggest hitter in that 4 spot, I think. So maybe you can get bases loaded and then get that home run like she had late in the game with the grand slam. But Riley batting number 3. First 2 pitches are ball 1 and ball 2. That ball gets away from Brebner, and the runners are going to advance on the bags. So the tying run sitting at second base. Addison having a little bit of trouble early on with her pitching. 3 balls, no strikes now to Diffin. Next pitch, fouled off. Gives her a strike on her. 3-1 count now to Diffin. Addie on the season is 26 strikeouts. She's faced 88 batters. Going to foul off that next pitch. We'll run the count full. 3-2 now to Diffin. Next pitch on the way. Deep center field. And that one doesn't quite get over the fence. Thomas is going to kind of misjudge where that one's going to come down at, and Diffin will be on with a 2-run, 2 RBI hit, 2 RBI double. Ties the game up.
Number 14, Lydia Johnson. On deck, number 3, Sierra Tonwell.
Still no outs for the Maniacs. Brings up Johnson, her first at bat of game number 2. First time seeing Addison Stewart in the pitching circle. First pitch is going to be outside, ball 1. Oh, 1-0 count. That's a called strike. 1-1 count now to Johnson. One pitch on the way. Foul ball down the first base line. 1-2 count now to Johnson. One-two pitch is going to be fouled off. Count remains 1-2 to Johnson. One-two count. Pitch on the way. Swing and a miss. Strike 3, and Stewart will get the strikeout. 1 out. Runner at second for the Maniacs. Brings up Sierra Tondeville with Paige Deo on deck and Reese Deo in the hole. Down low, ball 1. Again, this is the second game of the doubleheader for varsity. There will be a JV game coming up. Next pitch on the way. Ground ball. Going to be, Mia leaves the ball behind, and we're going to get an error on Asbury there. Didn't get that ball completely into her glove before she started to head back to home or to first base to try to get the force out. And runners will be safe at the corners now with 1 out. Paige Deo to the plate for the Maniacs, batting that number 6 slot. I think they flipped him because I think the lefty batted first in the last game. Maybe I'm wrong. First pitch is a ball as she offered a bunt. Pulled that back. Ball 1 to Deo. Ball low. 2 balls, no strikes now to Deo. Two-0 count to Deo. Again, a little bit low. Ball 3. They're going to get Diffin is going to come across on a stolen base, basically. And the Maniacs take the 3-2 lead here in the bottom of the 3rd. Runner took off from first to second. St. Mary's threw the ball out, I think, to Watkins, and kind of like a cutoff into a different spot and tried to throw that ball back in time to home. Would have been close. Ball 4 to Deo, 4 pitches.
At bat number 8.
That'll bring up Reese Deo.
Number 30.
Reese, the pitcher in this one for the Maniacs. A couple of hits all out to the left field, on the right field. And that one's going to be popped up foul. Brebner came up over stance, tried to get to that thing as it was up in the air, just couldn't quite get there. 0-1 count to Deo. 1 out, runners on first and second for the Maniacs. That pitch is going to get away from Stewart, up high. Well, I didn't realize our runners had advanced earlier. We got runners over on second and third now. Deo gets over to second. That one's going to be a fly ball. It's drifting foul. Making the catch in foul territory is Sloper for the out. So 2 outs. Brings up Maddie Waters. Maddie Waters and Coleman on deck. That'll be a called strike inside corner from Stewart. A couple of her pokes in the last game for Maddie Waters was also into right field. Next pitch is going to be low and inside for ball 1. 1 ball, 1 strike now to Waters. And that pitch is in that same spot. Strike 2 called. 1-2 count to Waters. The 1-2 pitch, that'll be fouled off. Count remains 1-2 to Waters. You get the ball back out after the foul ball to Stewart, and they'll reset. That pitch will be down low. 2 balls, 2 strikes now. If you're looking for somewhere to get some lunch this afternoon, stop by 3B Grill up there next to Joe's Bar. Or no, Corner Club. Next pitch on the way. High outside, runs the count full. They have some pretty good burgers up there at 3B Grill. They have chicken, steak, or pork teriyaki. Come with a pile of meat and some rice and some salad. Next pitch, fouled off. They have new summer hours. 3B Grill will be open until 8 p.m. now every day. I don't know if they're open every day. They might be closed on Sundays. Next pitch fouled off as well. Nice little battle here between Waters and Stewart. 3B Grill, they are not fast food. They make great food fast as they can. So give them a try. 3B Grill in St. Mary's, 115 South 8th Street. Look them up on Facebook. Find their menu. Swing and a miss, drop to third. They're going to get the throw in time to there, and that'll be the 3rd out. So Lumberjacks retire the sides. Maniacs do take a 1-run lead. They are up 3-2 in the top of the second. 3 runs, 1 hit, 1 error, 2 left on base for the Maniacs in the bottom of the first. Top of the second, we will see Danica Sloper, Taryn Brebner, and Kendra Nicholson when we return. I guess not really when we return. We're going to keep it here. Minnie's Twice as Nice Boutique, proud to sponsor today's broadcast. They had a ribbon cutting grand opening, so to speak, today in St. Mary's on Main Street. Minnie's Twice as Nice Boutique, 832 Main Avenue. They have a gently used clothes. Nice big selection. Go in there and check it out. They got a lot of stuff. If you want to know a little bit more exact pinpoint location, they are right between Timber Realty and the Country Fair. Minnie's Twice as Nice Boutique, right there in St. Mary's. Give them a check out.
You're listening to the home of Lumberjack Sports, 1240 KOFE, St. Mary's.
And Danica Sloper steps to the plate for the Lumberjacks. Reese Deo, the pitcher for Orofino. She had 17 pitches in that first inning.
On deck number 9.
First pitch, little bit of a ground ball off the end of the bat. Reese Deo will scoop it, throw it to first in time. for the first out.
At bat, number 9.
Brings up Brebner with Nicholson on deck for the Lumberjacks. Yeah, I think I was going to say, those watching on the Sideline HD Live, we will have to improve our setup for the tablet. First pitch to Brebner, swing to miss, strike one. Right now with the wind blowing, it's kind of rocking the canopy around. I've got it leaned up against the leg of the canopy, so it might be giving some people seasickness with the way it's moving around. 0-1 count to Brebner. High and outside, 1 ball, 1 strike to Brebner. Next pitch, down in the dirt. 2-1 count now to Taryn. Next pitch on the way. That'll be hit right to Hannah. Just had to lift her glove up and a little hop there for the line drive out to the first baseman.
At bat, number 1, Nicholson.
2 outs. Brings up the number 9 batter for the Lumberjacks, Kendra Nicholson. If she can get herself on base, it'll be the top of the lineup for the Lumberjacks. First pitch, I didn't catch what it was. Ball 1. Next pitch will be a ground ball to the third baseman, and the throw in time to home for the 5-3 put out. And that'll retire the sides. 3 up, 3 down. No runs, no hits, no errors. Nobody left on base for the Lumberjacks. Bottom of the second inning, St. Mary's will trail 3-2. And we're at the bottom of the order for Orofino. They'll have Coleman, then back to the top to Hannah and all of the next 3 batters when we return. You in need of a reputable, experienced, and knowledgeable well drilling and pump company? Look no further than Interstate Drilling and Pump. Interstate Drilling and Pump drills new wells, deepens existing wells, installs and repairs pumps, and does well testing both for water quality and gallons per minute. Interstate Drilling and Pump has 24 plus years of experience and served from Moscow to Rathdrum and the Silver Valley. Well, what are you waiting for? Get on their schedule today. That's Interstate Drilling and Pump, 208-245-5101. 208-245-5101, Interstate Drilling and Pump.
Tax time is here again. I know. It's not your favorite. But at H&R Block, tax time is our favorite time of year. It's when our tax pros get to do what they love the most, help people. By getting to know you, they can make sure your return gets done right. It's not just about numbers, boxes, and forms. It's about personal care. So you get every credit and deduction you deserve. And with an average of 10 years experience, our tax pros get your taxes done right. Just one of the many ways Block has your back.
And we are back. Kennedy Coleman takes that first pitch inside for a called strike 1. Next pitch to Coleman. Foul back for strike 2. So 0-2 the count now to Kennedy. Again, don't forget the pancake breakfast that's taking place tomorrow at the St. Mary's Fire Department. That'll be from 7 a.m. to 1 p.m. $8 for adults, $6 for children. Line drive, kind of a ground ball line drive hybrid out to left field, and Kennedy Coleman is on base with a single.
At bat, number 2, Hannah, top of the order.
Children under 5 will eat free at the pancake breakfast tomorrow. Brings up Bryn Hannah, top of the order. Walked her first at bat. Big fundraiser for the St. Mary's Fire Protection District, so check it out tomorrow. Down low, ball 1. Coleman gets over on the stolen base. Right now, stats are dead even for both teams except for the score, 3-2 in favor of Orofino. St. Mary's and Orofino with both 2 hits apiece. 1 error apiece. That's going to change that. That'll be a 3rd hit for Orofino and another run coming across for the Maniacs. I'll call it a double for Hannah.
At bat, number 5,
Baird had a little bit of trouble pulling that ball in out there in right field. I think she kind of kicked it off the heel of her glove a little bit. I don't think it really affected the play so much. Brings up Sadie Olive with a walker first at bat, no outs. High inside on that first pitch for ball one. Next pitch will be a swing and a miss. Nice pitch from Stewart. 1 ball, 1 strike. Next pitch. Gonna chase a high one for strike 2. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Olive. Lumberjacks would like to get that first out of the inning. There's a runner on second for the Maniacs. That's Bryn Hanna. Olive, the 1-2 pitch on the way. It'll be a little bit low, maybe inside. 2 balls, 2 strikes. 2-2 count. Stewart, the pitch. Ground ball into the gap. That's going to be a ball that's hard to get, and Avery again has a little bit of trouble pulling that ball in, but there's no extra bags or anything out of it, so it's a single. Grounder out to right field. Hanna comes in to score. Gives the Maniacs 5-2 lead. Still no outs for the Maniacs, and Riley Diffin to the plate. The big bat for Orofino. She can take a big old swing on that one, fouls that one off. That one gets all the way up to above the hill. Bounced off the front of a white Chevy up there. 0-1 count to Diffin. I don't think they've been able to get her out yet. There's a foul ball, strike 2. Everything she has hit today has been deep. She's had 2 home runs, one of them a grand slam. 0-2 though. Best count anybody's had against her so far today, and she's going to swing at that one. Strike 3, and the throw is in time. Anyway, so that's 1 out. That's the first out they've gotten on Riley. Brings up Livia Johnson. Struck out swinging her first at bat. That pitch will be fouled off for strike 1 to Johnson. Oh, 1 count to Livia. That will be a strike called inside corner. 0-2 count to Johnson. 1 out runner at second for the Maniacs. They've got 2 runs across here in the bottom of the second, giving them a 5-2 lead. Next pitch. Line drive right up the middle. Yeah, that's not gonna. I'm going to just call that a hit single.
Number 3,
Maddie Thomas had that one kind of kick off of her glove as well. And that allowed Livia the time to get over to second base. Brings up Tondevold, reached on an error her first at bat. Big swing to miss, strike 1 at that first pitch from Stewart. On deck is Paige Deo, and the hole is Reese Deo. 0-1 pitch. That'll be in play and off the glove of Asbury.
At bat, number 34, Paige Dale on deck.
Have to call that an error on Asbury as that came off the fingertips of her glove down at first base. No runners at the corners with 1 out. Paige Deo steps in, walked down her first at bat. On deck is Reese. First pitch is low for ball 1. And they're going to try to throw down to second base, and the run from third will come in. 4 runs across for Orofino here in the bottom of the second. That pitch is going to be swung at, fouled off for strike one, I believe. 1 ball, 1 strike. One ball, 1 strike. Pitch on the way. Fouled off once again. 1-2 count to Deo. That'll be a fair ball. Third baseman Sloper to get the throw to Asbury for the out. Ground out from third to first.
On deck number 33.
Sarah Tondavold advances over to third on the throw. 2 outs brings up Reese Deo. Reese flew out in her first at bat. The lefty flew out to the third baseman. That's a ground ball. Going to be hit right up the middle to Watkins. The throw in time to first. And the ground out. St. Mary's will retire the sides. Orofino does add 4 runs in that inning, though. 4 runs, 4 hits, 1 error, and 1 left on base. The Maniacs leading 7-2 into the top of the third we go. Top of the order for the Lumberjacks. And I say when we come back, but first we're going to mention one of our other sponsors that we have for today's games, and that is Sorority and Company, family owned and operated in St. Mary's. Actually, their sister is on the team here. That is Avery Baird. And they offer esthetician services such as facials and waxing by Sierra Baird, eyelashes done by Cheyenne Baird. Call to set up an appointment at 208-568-0599. They're going to be having a spring festival on April the 26th, 10 to 6 p.m. 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Music with spray. They'll have music, spray tans, waxing, face paintings, and much more. Clothes and everything else they have there for sale. So be sure to check them out. They're also offering prom dresses this year for those in need of a prom dress. So check it out. We'll be back.
Looking for future leaders we can believe in? Look no further than the high school student athletes right here in Idaho. High school sports teach young people how to be effective leaders. It includes learning to listen, accepting responsibility, being a good role model, and it's about respect. The result, it transcends sports. It gives us hope for the future. This message presented by the Idaho High School Activities Association and the Idaho Athletic Administrators Association.
And we are back. Maddie Thomas leading off. She's going to pop that one up foul. It's going to just get out of play over the backstop for strike one. That thing hit the bleachers over here to the left of me. Next one, it's going to be a big base hit by Maddie Thomas, and she lifts that out in the left field, or sends that out into the left field. So she's 2 for 2 in today's second game. I forget where she has. I thought she batted pretty well in the first game as well. We'll double check those stats at the end of the day and get our Talk About It Player of the Game announced before the next game. Got a couple of certificates I got to get out there. Danica Sloper and Maddie Thomas. Maddie earned one a couple games back. Brings up Avery Baird, nobody out, runner on first. Ground ball into the gap, and it's going to get just past the shortstop. Maddie's going to round and head. Oh, no, they're going to get her out at third. Forced out, tag out.
Number 5, Stewart. On deck number 12.
Maddie trying to get extra bags over there. Got caught getting over to third. So 1 out. Avery Baird at first. Addie Stewart takes the first pitch outside for ball 1. Coach Diffin getting the signal out to his players. Outside low, ball 2 to Stewart. On deck is Adeline Turner for the Lumberjacks. 2-0 pitch. That is hit into center field, but not quite deep enough. Addie gets a nice piece of it, but it's going to be caught by Kennedy Coleman.
At bat number 12, Turner. On deck number 2, Elliott.
That one almost made it to the fence. Again, I think, who was that last? I think it might have been Adeline Turner that had that last one that she hit deep center field, but it was right to the center fielder. So 2 outs, runner at first for the Lumberjacks. And that'll catch the outside corner for a strike 1. Pitch on the way. That one misses just barely, I think. We're at a pretty good pitch. 1 ball, 1 strike to Turner. Deo looks at her sleeve, gets the call. Next pitch fouled off. 1-2 count now to Turner. Two, 1-2 pitch. Ground ball right back to Deo. Throw, nice easy throw to first, and that'll retire the sides. Lumberjacks come up with no runs, 2 hits, no errors, and 1 left on base in the top of the 3rd inning. And the score is still 7-2 in favor of the Maniacs. And the Maniacs in the bottom part of their order, it'll be Maddie Waters and Kennedy Coleman in that 8 and 9 slot, then back to the top of the order to Bryn Hanna when we return.
Janelle Martin Holmes, your Farm Bureau insurance agent in St. Mary's, is a proud Lumberjack supporter because they're her hometown team. When it comes to insurance, that's also one reason so many people in St. Mary's choose Farm Bureau Insurance. They have a complete line of insurance products, including auto, home, commercial, and life, plus they have great customer service and competitive rates. And they're also a local company with local agents right here in St. Mary's. So let's hear it for our hometown teams. Contact Janelle Martin Holmes, your local Farm Bureau insurance agent in St. Mary's at 105 North 8th Street, St. Mary's.
And we are back. Maddie Waters struck out swinging her first at bat for the Maniacs here in game 2. Going to foul that first pitch back for strike number 1.
On deck, number 2, Hannah.
That pitch is going to miss down low. Ball 1. 1 ball, 1 strike to Waters. Next pitch going to be a line drive into right field. Nice poke by Waters. And she'll be on base with a single.
At bat, number 2, Hannah.
The bats have been pretty hot for Orofino today. Brings up Kennedy Coleman. Coleman singled her first at bat. First pitch is down low. Ball 1 gets away from Brebner. And that'll advance Waters over to second base. That pitch is going to miss inside, ball 2. That is going to be popped up. Okay, so Mia makes the catch for the out. That's why the runner can advance on third, over to third. So 1 out, runner at third for the Maniacs. That's Maddie Waters over third. Top of the order, Bryn Hanna. Hit a double in her first at bat, or in her second at bat. Walked her first at bat, fouls that first pitch off for Steve Reich 1. Oh, 1. That one's popped up foul as well. 0-2 count.
Not at the end of this inning, but at the end of this game.
0-2 count to Hannah. And swing and a miss, strike 3, and Stewart gets, I think, her third strikeout of the game.
At bat, number 5, Olive on deck number 11.
Fourth strikeout. That'll bring up Sadie Olive with 2 outs. Fastball in there for a strike. 1 called. Nice pitch by Stewart. Riley Diffin on deck for Orofino. High outside on that next pitch. 1 ball, 1 strike to Olive. Olive with a single and a walk in her first 2 at-bats. Swing and a miss, strike 2. Taking a minute, but Stewart looks like she's starting to get into her groove as far as the pitching's going. 1-2 pitch on the way. Fouls that one off. Count remains 1-2 now to Olive. One-two pitch on the way. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. And Lumberjacks, good inning for them. No runs, no 1 hit, no errors, and 1 left on base. The score remains the same, 7-2 in favor of the Maniacs in the top of the 4th inning. And middle of the lineup for St. Mary's, Elliott, Watkins, and Sloper due up when we return.
When you buy tires at Les Schwab, you're getting more than just tires. You're getting America's best tire warranty. 60-day satisfaction guarantee, no hassle road hazard protection, and free maintenance for the life of your tires. Other places make you pay extra for that, but at Les Schwab, it's included with every set of tires, because more warranty means less worry, and nobody stands by their tires like Les Schwab. Get more from Les. Book your appointment at leschwab.com. Terms and conditions apply. See leschwab.com for details.
Archie's IGA is not only a proud supporter of Lumberjack sports, but a proud supporter of the St. Mary's community and shopping locally. When you shop local, you help businesses support other local businesses, as well as helping your local businesses to provide jobs. Did you know that local business taxes help maintain communities and counties by fixing roads and maintaining recreational facilities? Local business owners invest in the community and have a vested interest in the future of our community. So won't you help Archie's IGA by supporting your local businesses and shop locally? Oh yeah, and let's not forget those Lumberjacks.
Starting off the top of the 4th for Lumberjack number 2, Elliott. On deck number 4.
And we're back. Brent Elliott will have the first pitch. I think that was a pitch already. Line drive up the middle for Elliott. Nice hit by Brenna.
At bat number 14, Watkins on deck number 15.
Brings up Watkins. Watkins grounded out her first at bat over to the 3rd baseman. On deck will be Sloper. First pitch going to be a strike. Oh, 1 count to Watkins. And Brenna gets over to second on a stolen base. Next pitch. Going to call that one a strike. Oh, 2 count to Watkins. I think Watkins thought that one was high and outside. 0-2. Pitch on the way. Ground ball into the gap, out into left field. Going to try to bring the run home. And she will make it. Elliott just the throw gets there in time, but it kind of one hops to Diffin.
At bat number 15, focus on deck number 9, Redner.
So that'll bring up Sloper with no outs and runner at second base for the Lumberjacks. Sloper grounded out her first at bat. That pitch misses high. Ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes to Danica. Next pitch. That'll be hit into center field for a base hit for Danica. That's going to bring in another run for the Lumberjacks as Alyssa Watkins will score from second. Lumberjacks finding some gaps right now.
Number 9, Bredner. On deck number 1, Nicholson.
So Lumberjacks have no outs. Brebner to the plate for the Lumberjacks. She was out on a line drive right to the first baseman in her first at bat. On deck will be Nicholson. Still no outs for St. Mary's. Big swing, strike 1 to Brebner. Next pitch. Fouled towards the Lumberjack dugout. 0-2 the count to Brebner now. Brebner needs to protect as she's down 0-2 in the count now. Oh, 2 pitch coming. That's going to miss up high. 1 ball, 2 strikes now to Brebner. Got that breeze blowing, coming from the outfield, blowing straight in from center field, basically. 1-2 count. Deo rocks and fires. And it'll be a little dribbling ground ball to the pitcher. The pitcher's going to turn and throw it over to second base and get the out at second. So we'll call that a fielder's choice.
At bat number 1, Nicholson. On deck number 4, Thomas.
So Brebner on at first. They're going to get Scheffelmeyer, I'm pretty sure, courtesy running for Brebner. Kendra Nicholson grounded out her first at bat. She's going to step to the plate. And get the courtesy runner stuff sorted and ready to get things rolling here. St. Mary's got 2 runs in here in the top of the 4th. 1 out, runner at first. Kendra Nicholson. First pitch now from Deo. Going to be a swing and a miss for strike 1. Deo rocks and fires. That's going to be a called strike. That one I thought might have been a little bit low. I think she thought so as well. 0-2 is the count. 1. Had to get things squared away. They have 2 outs up on the scoreboard, but it's only 1 out. Oh, 2 count to Nicholson. High. Outside. 1 ball, 1 strike now to Nicholson. Deo's next pitch on the way. Fouled off. That foul ball got right over the top of the net and came down on top of the canopy here. Oh, swing and a miss. 3 strikes there and out number 2. Top of the order for the Lumberjacks, though. So let's see if St. Mary's can keep things going, have their own 2-out rally. They haven't really gotten a hold of one of those yet in this game. It brings up Thomas, who's 2 for 2, 2 singles in her first 2 at-bats. Big swing and a miss, though. Strike 1 on the first pitch. St. Mary's has been, so far in this game, everybody that's been put one into play, it's been in that left field area. Down low, ball 1, 1 ball, 1 strike. That one's going to be fouled off. 1 ball, 2 strikes now to Thomas. Oh, big swing and a miss for strike 3, and St. Mary's can't keep the rally going. They get 2 runs on 3 hits. There was no Maniac errors, 1 left on base. The score into the bottom of the 4th, it's 7-4 in favor of the Maniacs. The Maniacs will be at Riley Diffin, Livia Johnson, and Tondevold when we return.
Hughes Ace Hardware wants to invite you to come in and take a look. Hughes isn't just about hardware. Whether you need dish soap and sponges to clean up after your husband's guys' night, or storage solutions for your wife's shopping addiction, you can find it at Hughes. Come see the difference. Everything you need, from a blow dryer to replace the one your toddler dropped in the toilet, to a bathroom scale to help your hubby stay on his fitness goal. Hughes Ace Hardware is the place to get the products you need and the help you want all the time, every time.
You always hear on the radio, cross the bridge to savings. But it's true. St. Mary's Harvest Foods has what you need when you need it. And if you don't see it, then just ask one of the friendly staff and they will gladly help you find what you need. From meat, super fresh produce, and dairy, St. Mary's Harvest Foods will save you big on the things you need the most. No time to cook tonight? Then check out the hot deli for something quick for dinner. St. Mary's Harvest Foods, where you truly can cross the bridge to savings.
And we are back. Riley Diffin leads off for the Maniacs here in the bottom of the 4th. First pitch, a swing and a miss for strike 1. She hit a big double in her first at bat, then was out on a drop third in her second at bat. Next pitch, foul tipped, strike 2, 0-2 count to Diffin. Diffin had a heck of a first game and started off in the second game with that big double. And she had 2 home runs in the first game, one of them a grand slam. So she is looking for more here in this one. That one's going to miss low. Might even be trying to get her to chase something. Sometimes it's intentional, sometimes it's just a miss on the pitch. But 1 ball, 2 strikes. Next pitch from Stewart. Fouls off that one. 1 ball, 2 strikes still to Diffin. Livia Johnson on deck. Next pitch. Ground ball right back to Stewart. Stewart will get the throw to first in time. And that'll be 1 out. Brings up Johnson. Johnson hit a single in her last at-bat, struck out in her first at-bat. That single was into center field. On deck will be Tondevold.
Bat number 14, Johnson, on deck.
That one's going to be fouled off for strike 1. That one thankfully gets all the way over the fence and everything. 0-1 count to Johnson. And that one's going to be down low. 1 ball, 1 strike to Livia. Next pitch on the way. Ground ball. Shortstop going to scoop. The throw to first in time. That was Elliott to Asbury. Had to keep an eye. I wasn't sure what the umpire was going to call on that one. But luckily, Mia able to get that into the glove and keep it there. The umpire does call the out at first. So, 2 outs, nobody on for the Maniacs. Tondevold has reached on errors twice. Takes a swing at that first pitch for strike 1. Next pitch, outside corner, strike 2. On deck will be Deo if Tondevold gets on it. Paige Deo. Next pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3, and that'll retire the sides. Another good inning for the Lumberjacks. No runs to the Maniacs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left on base. St. Mary's will be at their number 2 batter. It'll be Baird, Stewart, and Turner at the plate when we return.
Jack Fuel Trucking knows that there are few things as important as wise use of our natural resources. And by utilizing the chips in the manufacturing of lumber, that is exactly what is accomplished. If you look beyond the wood chips, You see an entire community of schools, churches, and businesses, and most importantly, people. Jack Fuel Trucking believes in responsible harvesting of our natural resources. After all, when you take a close look, those aren't just chips. They're an entire community. Jack Fuel Trucking.
And we are back. Update out of the boys' game 2. It is 6-0 in favor of Orofino in the third inning. Here at the softball field, 7-4 in favor of Orofino. Lumberjacks have held the Maniacs scoreless in the last 2 innings, though, so that's St. Mary's doing some work, battling here. They'd like to get the win here in this game, but they've got to make up 3 more runs still on Orofino. Avery Baird in to bat, singled her last at bat. That single was out into left field. Up high on that first pitch for ball 1. I feel like St. Mary's is kind of figuring out Reese's pitching for Orofino. And that's why they've been having some success here in the later part of this game. We're in midway part of this game. Down low, ball 2. 2-0 count to Baird now. 2-0 pitch from Deo on the way. Going to take a swing at that one. That pitch might have ended up being ball 3, but she's going to get a piece of it. Fouls it off for strike 1. 2-1 count to Baird. Two-one pitch from the lefty. Chases kind of a high one there. Strike 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Could have been a rising ball. Might have caught her off guard a little bit. Thought it was going to be one of those ones right down the middle and swung at it. 2-2 count to Baird now. Has to protect. Next pitch on the way. Fly ball. Tondevold from short calls it. Makes the catch for the first out. 1 down, nobody on for the Lumberjacks. Brings up Stewart. Stewart reached on an error and had a fly out in her first 2 at-bats here. First pitch to Stewart. Ground ball, shortstop Tondevold. The throw is going to be an error. We're going to get that ball past the first baseman, and Stewart will be safe to second.
At bat number 12, Turner, on deck number 3.
I think the error goes on the shortstop for shorting that ball to Stewart, or to the first baseman. So they'll bring up Adeline Turner. Grounded out her last at bat, singled her first. Addison Stewart at second. Then reach for a kind of a low one there. Got a piece of it, grounded it to short. And she'll be out.
At bat number 2, Elliott, on deck number 14.
Did advance
Walking.
Stewart over to third. Tough one there for Turner, though. Kind of went after one that was low. Brianna Elliott had a single her last at bat, and that one she's going to foul off. She almost caught Coach Watkins in the leg with that one. 0-1 count to Elliott. Lumberjacks would like to get a run or so across in this inning. It just chips away at that lead for Orofino. Next pitch, up high. 1 ball, 1 strike to Elliott. One ball, 1 strike, pitch on the way. Ground ball, kind of a, I guess you'd almost call it like a broken bat type of hit or something, just off the tip of the bat. Ground out to the pitcher on the 1-3 put out. And the Lumberjacks had some stuff starting to work. They had on that one, but no runs, no hits. There was 1 error and 1 left on base. Score still 7-4 in favor of Orofino. Into the bottom of the 5th we go. And the bottom part of the order for the Maniacs, it'll be Paige Deo, Reese Deo, and Maddie Waters, the next 3 up. Want to circle back around to PotlatchDeltic and thank them for their sponsorship and support of not only our broadcast, but also of the St. Mary's community and all of the nonprofits in town that they do so much work for. they donate so much too. So we want to give a shout out and a thank you to Potlatch Deltic, one of the bigger employers in town, and they're a big part of the sports complex out at the high school. They are a big part of a lot of donations that get made to the nonprofits around St. Mary's. So shout out to Potlatch Deltic. Country Fair, once again in town. They are all ready with your new summer fashion arriving daily. And they've got softball and baseball gear with Little League season coming up. Easter is coming, and they've got stuff that you need for that as well. And then you can also get your tux rentals for the prom. First pitch to Paige Deo is going to be popped up in the air. Coming over making the catch is Watkins for the first out of the inning on the fly out.
At bat number 8, Reese Dale on deck number 33.
Addison Stewart up to 90 pitches. Again, it doesn't really matter in softball, but arms still can get a little bit tired. Blown outside on that first pitch to Reese Dale, ball 1. Reese is a fly out and a ground out in her first 2 at-bats. 0 for 2 in this one. That one is going to be, a line drive, and Elliott almost gets that thing in her glove. I'm not calling that an error. That's just a nice hard hit single that came off of the glove, just barely popped out of Brenna's glove. I know it was a great defensive try by Elliott. Brings up Maddie Waters. Maddie with a single in her last at bat. They're going to put a courtesy runner out for Deo. Rachel Province will go run for Deo. First pitch from Waters, fouled back. Maddie Waters, a very small in stature girl. She's not very tall, not very big, but seems like she's got some power behind her swing. She's just a sophomore. That pitch misses outside. 1 ball, 1 strike now to Waters. On deck for the Maniacs will be Kennedy Coleman, and they'll be back to the top of the order. That one's going to be fouled back. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Waters. So Stewart has her where she wants her. See if Addie can earn another strikeout here. 1-2 pitch, swing and a miss, strike 3. That'll get 2 outs on the Maniacs. It'll bring up Kennedy Coleman.
Number 1.
Kennedy a single and a fly out in her first 2 at bats. Back to the top of the order. If Coleman gets on deck, it'll be on base. It'll be Bryn Hanna on deck. Ground ball to the third baseman, Sloper. Able to trap that ball, gets the throw in time, and that'll be the 3rd out. Lumberjacks defense playing pretty good in the last several innings. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, 1 left on base. Going into the top of the 6th, the Lumberjacks have got to make up some runs. They are down 7-4, and we're at the bottom part of the order for St. Mary's. It'll be Watkins, Sloper, and Grebner the next 3 up when we return. Hugh and Margie Gannon of St. Mary's are proud to support the Lumberjacks and this Lumberjack Sports broadcast. The Gannons want to wish the Lumberjacks the best of luck this sports season and want you to know that they are proud of you. The Gannons say, "Go Lumberjacks!"
At Good Neighbor Pharmacy, we're committed to being your good neighbor.
Good Neighbor Pharmacy is an independent network of over 3,000 pharmacies throughout the United States, giving us the buying power to compete with the chain stores.
We'll fill your prescription quickly and safely, and you're supporting a locally owned pharmacy.
Your copays are the same wherever you go. Why not come and visit your locally owned pharmacy professionals?
Jack's Pharmacy is your Good Neighbor Pharmacy here in St. Mary's. Come in and say hi. Jack's Pharmacy.
Just seen a post from one of our sponsors, 3B Grill over there in St. Mary's, and I know I've already mentioned them a couple times, but they have a really nice looking chicken sandwich going on over there today. First pitch to Watkins, outside corner for strike 1 called. Reese Deo only has thrown 64 pitches so far, so she's being pretty efficient out there. Watkins a ground out and a single in her first 2 at bats. That one fouled down the third base line. The count is 0-2 now to Watkins. Foul ball down the third base line. 0-2 is the count. Next pitch. Going to take a swing at that low one, golfing for that one, and it'll be a drop third and the throw to first in time for the out. That ball was in the dirt, but that's, you got to be kind of nervous up there when you're down 0-2 in the count, so you're getting kind of nervous and you swing at something and afterwards like, dang it. One down for the Lumberjacks with nobody on. Sloper takes a swing at that first pitch, pops it up, and it's going to get into foul territory. 0-1 count to Sloper. Brebner on deck for the Jacks. One count. That is hit into left field. And that thing comes off of the top rope, I guess you could call it. The yellow ribbon across the top of that fence. And that ball just came back into the field. That was a nice double, almost inches away from being a home run for Sloper. So one out runner at second for the Lumberjacks. Brebner with a ground ball to the shortstop. Shortstop is going to lose that ball, and that'll be an error on, I believe, Tondeval. And it wasn't like a really hard hit grounder. He'll hold Sloper at first. Going to get that courtesy runner for Brebner. Scheffelmeyer goes out. Nicholson, ground out and a strikeout swinging for her. High outside, ball one to Nicholson. One 0 count to Nicholson. Deo delivers the pitch. Leaves that one up high. 2 balls, no strikes now to Nicholson. You can get 2 balls early. Puts the pressure out on the pitcher. 2-0 pitch on the way. Oh, she's going to lay down that bunt. That's a beautiful bunt, and it'll be an error. She'll get on what it was going to be, I think, just a sacrifice bunt, and it'll bring a run across. That was a beautiful bunt down the first base line. There was an error there on the Maniacs. I didn't get that labeled in there, but we got one run across here in the top of the 6th. Brings up the top of the order for St. Mary's. Lumberjacks in a good spot maybe to take the lead here with only 1 out. Maddie's going to foul that one back for strike 1. Lumberjacks into that top of the order. On deck is Baird in the hole, Stewart. Next pitch from Thomas, swing and a miss, strike 2. Stolen base for Nicholson. She gets over to second. 0-2 count though to Thomas. Has to protect. Deo looks at the signal she got from her coach, calling out some numbers from the sideline. They look at their dugout. They look at their wristband. That is a fly ball. Caught by Johnson, the third baseman. Lumberjacks would like to get more than number 11, 1 run across here in this inning. I mean, 3 runs would be great. 2 more runs would tie it up. Baird's going to ground ball that right back to the pitcher, and the Maniacs get themselves out of a little bit of trouble there on the ground out. Nice, good hit pretty decent hit by Baird, just right to the pitcher. So the Lumberjacks come up with one run on one hit. There was one error, two errors on the Maniacs, two left on base. The score is 7-5 in favor of Orofino into the bottom of the sixth inning. The Lumberjacks will have to get things finished up in the top of the seventh if they want to get the win, but they've got to also hold the Maniacs here in the bottom of the sixth. So let's see what happens when we come back. It'll be the top of the lineup for Orofino, so that's a tough spot as well for St. Mary's. Hannah, Olive, and Diffin, the top three hitters for Orofino. When we return.
It's the kid in grade school who paints her face blue and white before every home game.
It's the accountants and salesmen who give up their Friday evenings to referee.
It's the cashier at the corner convenience store who wears school colors on every game day.
What makes high school sports here in Idaho so special? They do. You do.
We all do.
This message presented by the Idaho High School Activities Association and the Idaho Athletic Administrators Association.
And we're back. Brenna Hannah to the plate. First pitch, you're going to swing at. Oh, and there's a mistake you don't want to have in a close game. As Brenna Elliott, I think, going to have to get credited with an error there. That ball was kind of hit in her. Well, maybe I won't call it an error. It was kind of came at her funny. It wasn't like a true ground ball. It was kind of a really lazy hit, soft hit line drive. She just didn't know if she needed to go to the ground with her glove or to the top with her glove, and it just came off her glove wrong. That pitch, they're going to get stolen base. They had a close to having the pickoff out there. Brenna was about 2 inches away from getting that. Ground ball right back to Stewart. Get the ground out. Stewart to Asbury. So one out, runner on third for Orofino. You don't want Orofino to get any of these runs back that you've earned in the last couple of innings. But you've got Riley Diffin, the big hitter. She's going to foul that one back for strike one. She hasn't had a good second game necessarily, though. As, like I said, she's 1 for 3, a double, a drop third, and a ground out. So she's not been as solid here. And different pitcher as well. High on that pitch, ball one. I think Addie brings a little bit more movement and a little bit more speed with her experience pitching. 1-1 pitch count. That one's going to be wild somewhat. 2 balls and a strike. Lumberjacks escape a little bit of a problem there as that ball came right back off the backstop back to Brebner, so the third base runner couldn't get across. That's going to be a ground ball to the third baseman. They're going to throw it to first in time. Turner on the ground ball. Nope.
At bat number 14, Johnson. On deck number 3, Carnival.
Ground out. The runner did come home on the throw. That'll bring up Livia Johnson. Fouls the first pitch off for strike one. So the Maniacs do get one run across so far in the bottom of the 6th inning. They give themselves a 3-run buffer at the moment, 8-5. That is going to drift foul. That's a nice hit ball. And Lumberjacks dodge a bullet with that one as that thing tailed off to the left and just went foul. 0-2 count to Johnson. Might have been helped by a little bit of that wind. Inside, ball one to Johnson. 1-2 count. That one will be kind of in fair territory. Coming over to make the catch is going to be Turner for the fly out. That'll retire the side. So this is what it's going to come down to. Top of the 7th, St. Mary's needs to plate some runs. They need 3 to tie it. They need 4 to take the lead. And I think we are at Stewart at the plate with Turner and Elliott, the next 2 up after that. It is the Maniacs 8, the Lumberjacks 5 into the top of the 7th. We'll be back.
Afraid to touch that breaker box? Need some rewiring done? Call the professionals at M&S Electric. With nearly 40 years experience, there's no job too big or too small. From industrial and commercial to residential and service work, M&S Electric isn't afraid. Serving Benoit, Shoshone, Kootenai, and Latah counties, M&S Electric has you covered. Overhead work? M&S can do that too with their bucket truck. M&S Electric, 408 Main Avenue, St. Mary's. Give them a call, 208-245-3890. No job too big, no job too small. We do them all. M&S Electric.
And we are back. It'll be Reese Deo continuing in the pitching circle. She's pitched pretty well. Addison Stewart at the plate, 0 for 3 in the second game. Lumberjack boys trail 8-0 in the bottom of the third. And there's a base hit for Stewart right into the center field. That was soft line drive. Any way you can get it done is what you need to do. So, like I said, St. Mary's needs 3 runs in to tie it. St. Mary's right now in the meat of their order, really. Just about anybody from 3 to 7 can really knock the ball around. Turner's first pitch fouled back, strike 1. Turner's had a single, a ground out, and a ground out in this one. That one is tagged deep. Let's see where that goes. Right into the glove of Kennedy Coleman, the center fielder. She tracked that thing all the way to her left and made the catch. That was a good contact, good poke by Turner. But again, the center fielder for Orofino really soaking up anything that ends up out there. 1 out, 1 on. Brenna Elliott to the plate. Brenna pops that one up foul. Foul ball. That one almost gets Earl over here. Earl didn't know which way to go. 0-1 count to Elliott. High inside. Stewart's going to slide in safe on the stolen base. 1-1 count to Elliott. 1 out, runner at second for St. Mary's. Lissa Watkins on deck. Sloper in the hole. Low outside. 2-1 count. Stewart will get over to third. I'm going to call that an error on, I think, the catcher. Overthrew her third baseman throwing that ball out there. So Stewart gets over to third base. 4 errors on the Maniacs here in this game. 5, actually. Line a ground ball right to the second baseman. It'll be a second out for the Lumberjacks, but it will bring a run across. Score is 8-6 in favor of Orofino. Lumberjacks have 2 outs now, though. That's going to be the toughest thing to overcome right now is the outs. Watkins up. First pitch called strike, outside corner. Oh, ground ball, third baseman, should be a routine play, and it is. That will retire the sides, and that will be it for game number 2. St. Mary's just comes up a little bit short. 8-6 here in game 2, a lot better game. That first game just kind of got away from the Lumberjacks and made it tough on them. This game was a little bit more of what we expect to see out of our girls, and a lot better game. But I'll take a quick look at the stats of this one when we come back, and then we'll also try to take a look at the 2 games of stats and see who we're going to pick for our Talk About It player of the game. But we'll do all that when we return.
For all of your area high school sports schedules, updates, and recaps, including Lakeside, Kootenai, and of course, St. Mary's High School, pick up your copy of the St. Mary's Gazette Record every Wednesday. Not only will they have game recaps and highlights for area high school sports action, but local news and information. St. Mary's Gazette Record pickup copy today. Country Meats, formerly Scheffelmeyer's, is a proud supporter of Lumberjack Sports. Country Meats offers retail meats as well as custom processing of your farm-raised animals. Country Meats has a retail shop in Harrison currently open on Saturdays, or stop by their main shop at 18500 South Lane Road in Cataldo. Check out Country Meats' website, countrymeatsid.com, and follow them on Facebook for updates on hours and special offers. That's Country Meats, formerly Scheffelmeyer's, also proud supporters of the Benoit County Fair. When you need that morning pick-me-up before work or school, there's one place that comes to mind. It's a place that loves our community, the St. Mary's Lumberjacks, and all the local businesses and people in our village. Shift and Grind in St. Mary's is all about the community. Whether it's helping raise money for the Booster Club or for a family in need, the Shift and Grind family are always ready to help. So be sure to stop by Shift and Grind for your caffeinated needs. Located at 132 First Street in St. Mary's, Shift and Grind says, "Go Lumberjack!"
Spring is here, and you can make your home beautiful this summer with help from 10th Street Lumber. Besides all the building materials you'll ever need, 10th Street Lumber has landscaping supplies. They have landscaping bricks, concrete bricks, paving bricks, as well as planting materials. So stop by today, whether you're building a deck, a patio, or planting flowers. 10th Street Lumber has it all. 10th Street Lumber at 10th Street and Railroad Avenue, right here in St. Mary's.
Wondering how to manage your retirement nest egg? How big should it be when you retire? Contact Jenny Oakes at Gateway Financial Partners to get the answers to these and all your other financial questions. The securities and advisory services offered through LPL Financial, a registered investment advisor. Member FINRA SIPC. With over 30 years of financial planning, give Jenny Oakes a call at Gateway Financial Partners today. The guidance is free. The experience is priceless. Call 245-5255.
Now we are back again. St. Mary's comes up short in game 2, 8-6 to the Maniacs. A good ball game for game 2, though. Take a look at some stats. I'm kind of curious about earned runs for Orofino and see if that made a big difference. Because, well, let's first look at that. So the box score, I guess you could say, St. Mary's scoring in the first, 4th, 6th, and 7th innings to get to 6 runs. They scored 2 in the first, 2 in the 4th, 1 in the 6th, 1 in the 7th. St. Mary's 6 runs on 9 hits, 2 errors by the Lumberjacks, 6 left on base. Orofino had 3 runs in the first, 4 runs in the second, 1 run in the 6th to give them 8 runs on 8 hits with 4 or 5 Maniac errors. They had 5 left on base. So now let's take a look here. The home team they batted only 286 in game 2, so St. Mary's did a better job in that one. Maniacs fielding was 892. Their pitching, Reese Deo, she pitched all 6 innings, 7 innings pitched actually. Faced 33 batters. She had 6 runs, 5 of those were earned. 3 strikeouts, 9 hits, no walks. Didn't walk anybody. So good job by Reese Deo on that side of things. Over to the Lumberjacks, they batted only 281 in that game. We had 6 runs on 9 hits, 5 RBIs. Leading batter in that game was Sloper with a 667 average. Maddie Thomas was 500. And pitching-wise, Addie Stewart had 8 runs, 8 earned runs. So no unearned runs for the Maniacs in that game. So that makes the ending, it's don't ever want to lose a game, but I guess if you're looking at it from a coach's perspective, you didn't give up unearned runs that gave a team a win. Everything they earned, so that kind of is a good thing. All except for the fact that you still lost the game, but the Lumberjacks played really pretty good in that second game. Addison Stewart had 7 strikeouts in the contest. She had 3 walks and faced 31 batters, so a good outing for Stewart. So yeah, that's that game. The first game, And it might take me a while to figure out who I want to pick for my player of the game today because I'm going to have to go through and look at stats a little bit closer possibly. First game, let's look at just the stats for St. Mary's for batting. Addie Thomas 500, Hudlin Turner 667, and that's about it. 500 for Stewart, 500 for Maddie. And the second game, it's hard. Baseball is softball, baseball, hard to pick our players of the game. So I think we're going to go with Danica today for the Talk About It player of the game. We'll go with Danica Sloper. She had a pretty good second game. Nice double that almost ended up over the fence. And she just had a really good second game. First game, maybe not as solid. Boy, I'm still thinking about it here. We will, and let's check Addie Turner. Let's check Turner's second game stats. Well, let me take a break. I was going to take a break when I figured this out, so I didn't babble on the air. Anyways, let's take a quick break.
Triple X Feeds in St. Mary's is your one-stop farm and garden shop. Everything from pet supplies to livestock feed and supplies, Triple X Feeds has it. Horse supplies, they have that also. From saddle pads to bridles, Triple X Feeds can set you up. Triple X Feeds now has hay and alfalfa in stock as well as straw. Triple X Feeds, located at 130 East College Avenue in St. Mary's, open 8 to 5:30 weekdays and 9 to 5 on Saturdays. Triple X Feeds, a proud Lumberjack sports broadcast sponsor.
School sports are played by humans, coached by humans, and officiated by humans. So the next time you're sitting in the stands at a school athletic event, please remember this and maintain your humanity, especially when it comes to judging and critiquing athletes, coaches, and officials. Please show your fellow humans some respect. They'll appreciate your empathy.
This message presented by the IHSAA and the Idaho Athletic Administrators Association.
St. Mary's Realty is a St. Mary's icon. Why? Because they are a team. They work for you. And they've been a team for many years. Whether you are buying your first home, looking for a recreational cabin, or selling your current home, St. Mary's Realty puts their team on it for you. So stop in or give them a call today at 245-4502 and let their team be your team. That's St. Mary's Realty at 726 Main Avenue, St. Mary's.
Riverbend Car Wash and Laundromat, located next to Harvest Foods in St. Mary's. Open 24 hours, we have washers and dryers of all sizes to get your laundry done quickly. If you'd like to get your laundry done in less than 5 minutes, take advantage of our drop-off laundry service where we wash, dry, and fold it for you. While you do your laundry, be sure to take advantage of our touchless automatic car wash, which has that great undercarriage spray to get the grime off. Riverbend Car Wash and Laundromat can be found at riverbendbubbles.com or call 208-582-4844.
Whistle Stop Coffee and More has come a long way from the little shop on Railroad Avenue. How far? Not only did they upgrade their Railroad Avenue location, they added a second location. That second location for Whistle Stop Coffee and More is on 313 St. Joe River Road. Both locations offer tasty drinks of coffee, Red Bull, or Lotus Energy, and food options, from acai bowls to cookies and delicious bagel sandwiches. Whistle Stop Coffee and More is the perfect stop for a quick bite and a drink on your way to work or school. Whistle Stop Coffee and More in St. Mary's.
And we are back, and I've got to rescind that last, so I don't like to necessarily pick the same 2 games in a row for player of the game. Danica Sloper was our player of the game against Potlatch. So I kind of crunched it, looked at some numbers. It's really tough with softball, honestly. There's so many different things to look at. And I think from her pitching in the second game and her batting in the first game, we're going to go with Addie Stewart for our player of the game. So she had the 7 strikeouts in game 2. She batted 500 in the first game, had some nice hits. So we'll go with Addison Stewart, the senior, to get the Talk About It player of the game, obviously sponsored by Talk About It in St. Mary's. So that's going to do it for us here from Orofino. Don't forget, tomorrow it is the Firefighters Pancake Breakfast in St. Mary's at the St. Mary's Fire Department, 7 a.m. to 1 p.m. Be sure to go and support that. That is a big fundraiser for the St. Mary's Fire Department. But that's going to do it for us here from Orofino. We hope that you enjoyed the games. Our stream seemed to work pretty good for video. We'll try to fix a couple of things with that as far as getting our audio into it for our commercials and stuff and our play-by-play. But it worked well, so we will call it good from our end and hope that everybody has a great weekend. Thank you for tuning in to another broadcast of high school sports on KOFE 1240 AM St. Mary's, your home for high school sports broadcast. We want to take a moment to thank our sports broadcast sponsors and hope that you'll do the same. Without them, this wouldn't be possible. Until next time, have a great rest of your day.